of Hawaii's Big Island are under mandatory evacuation. Steam and lava are bubbling up in a residential area, and authorities are ordering more than 1,700 people to leave right now. The eruption comes after hundreds of earthquakes shook the eastern part of the Big Island. An intense dust storm has ripped through northern India, killing at least 110 people. The storm's powerful winds destroyed buildings, uprooted trees and downed electric poles. And rapid lightning strikes also sparked fires. And Nikhil Kumar has more now from New Delhi.
North India is still reeling from the aftermath of a deadly night. More than 100 people died after a violent summer storm lashed the region Wednesday. Uttar Pradesh, India's largest state, which sits just south of Nepal, was the hardest hit, as a deadly cocktail of wind, dust, rain and thunder swept through the area. We even witnessed a storm here in Delhi, with the squall hitting the Indian capital during the evening rush hour. Across northern India, hundreds more people have been reported injured. And not just people. Out in the countryside, livestock was hit. More than 100 cows, buffaloes, goats and other animals were killed. Power to many homes across these states was also knocked out. Now, dust storms are a common occurrence here at this time of year, ahead of the annual monsoon. But this was unusual, and it felt unusual. We don't usually see rains and thunder after these dust storms. Weather experts say this happened because of an unusual combination of factors, as different storms effectively came together. On the ground, rural areas suffered the most. Officials say many of the deaths occurred because of falling trees and collapsing ceilings and walls in village communities with weak infrastructure. The worst of the storm hit many of these communities very late at night. The victims and the houses they were sleeping in were simply not prepared. Nikhil Kumar, CNN, New Delhi.
And our meteorologist, Ivan Cabrera, joins us now to talk not only about this dust storm, but also this volcanic eruption in Hawaii.
We have a lot going on, obviously, a disaster, a calamity there in India. We'll talk specifically about what happened there. It had nothing to do with the monsoon, by the way, but Kilauea has been calling the shots as well in Hawaii, and now we have evacuations, Rosemary, as you've been talking about. Boy, I tell you what, when you have the civil defense in your backyard and your backyard starts filling up with lava, you got problems here. I'm going to fly you into the Big Island of Hawaii. Kilauea, the most active of the 5 volcanoes here. There have been spectacular eruptions in the past with this particular volcano, and this one has been letting us know really over the past couple of weeks that it's been getting active here. We've essentially recorded hundreds of small earthquakes, anywhere from 2 to 2.5 in the magnitude scale, but then yesterday we had a 5.0, and that is what caused the rupture that we saw there and the essentially lava that had began to flow. Particularly, this is called the East Rib Zone, by the way, and anywhere here we could have vents that open up, but volcanologists are telling us now that they're more concerned about the area that has been evacuated, which is Leilani Estates here, which is a good, by the way, 30 kilometers away from where the volcano is. But this is a particular area that has already seen lava here, so we're talking about an area that is now seen an eruption as far as this volcano. The alert we had yesterday was a watch in anticipation of this becoming more of an event. Well, the event is now here, so now we were talking about a volcano warning. An aviation alert is also out. That is color orange, and there's the 5.0 earthquake that triggered everything here. So we're watching things very closely. It's hard to predict these things and where they're going to pop up here, but it looks like that area, they're focusing in on the evacuations occurring there. Want to talk about India now as we check in on what happened with our good friends here across the north. My goodness, 132 kilometer per hour winds. By the way, the death toll and the reason it was that high, very little warning with the storm cell as it continued to propagate south and east. It just exploded basically here. Not enough time to warn folks. Nothing to do with the monsoon. This was basically a cluster of thunderstorms that just got together, and the outflow from these thunderstorms was strong enough to kick up all the dust, which is not what killed a lot of people. It was these intense winds that brought down all the trees, and then the trees on top of the lodgings there and houses, and the destruction that took place. Almost looks like a typhoon rolling through, right? A huge storm, unusual certainly for this time of year and for this particular area. Nothing to do with the monsoon. It's just a very unfortunate occurrence, and the fact that you had structures that could not handle that kind of wind. They came down, and they came down in a hurry, and as you mentioned, 41,000 strikes as far as lightning strikes as well. So nothing to do with the monsoon. We're monitoring for the potential of additional storms, but I don't think they're going to be as strong, anywhere near as strong as what we had there, and what ended up being just a disaster for
absolutely.
Andhra Pradesh.
Thank you so much for covering that. A lot to bring to us. Appreciate it, Ivan. Well, springtime in Japan makes